Well, a group of scientists from IISC carried out a bathymetric survey of Bellandur and Vartur lakes. The survey has revealed that there is a huge amount of wealth deposited on the lake beds, but still the pre-monsoon showers have increased the frothing in the lakes. Will the government at least now sit up and take action?
Bellandur and Vartur lakes are extremely polluted, and with the pre-monsoon showers, the amount of froth that is seen has actually increased on the surface of these lakes, raising fears that the monsoon showers may make the condition even worse. A bathymetric survey conducted by the Indian Institute of Science has now revealed that the lake beds of these two most polluted lakes are actually a reservoir of huge wealth. In the bathymetric survey that was carried out, it has emerged that the slush and the silt found in the lake beds of Vartur and Bellandur is worth a whopping 15,000 crore rupees. Yes, that is right. Rupees 15,000 crore is the worth of the slush and silt that sits on the lake beds of the two lakes. It is this slush and silt which will have to be removed for the cleaning up of these lakes. Your channel caught up with Dr. T.V. Ramachandra from IISC, who led the team which carried out the bathymetric survey, which estimates that Bellandur and Vartur can finance the cleanup process on their own. Vartur and Bellandur had made big news last year because of the huge amount of froth that had formed on their surface. Now this year, after the pre-monsoon showers, we've noticed that the froth on these lakes has actually gone up. And to actually understand more on that, we've got Professor T.V. Ramachandra. So what's actually happening? We saw after the pre-monsoon showers, the froth on these lakes actually increased. So what's going on here?
See, actually, I am not surprised because we have not curtailed the contaminant getting into the water body. Rather, it has increased. Now, if you look at the last year and this year, of course, last year it made a national news and international news, but we didn't do anything to do the decontamination. Neither we restored the lake, nor we started treating the contaminant which is coming from the industries as well as the untreated sewage getting into the system. Now, as long as this untreated sewage and effluent get into the system, we will have frothing, we will have the contamination of the groundwater and contaminant air in the vicinity.
So despite the fact that this issue was highlighted almost about a year back, nothing seems to have been done. And now with the monsoon rains also expected, can we expect more froth formation because there's going to be the churning of the waters? So how do you read this situation?
See, I would say as long as the senseless system prevails, this continues. When I say senseless system, when we don't implement the decontamination, either by removing the silt that is accumulated or treating the sewage, this will continue. Now, regarding the monsoon, one good thing will happen with the monsoon is the dilution happens. The froth level will come down. But if there is a high intensity rain...
You say froth level will come down, but after the pre-monsoon showers, the froth level actually went up. And that caused a lot of problem to the people in that area because they just could not commute because the roads had actually got filled up with froth.
No, I agree with you because during the pre-monsoon, there is a high intensity rainfall with the wind. Because of that, churning of the lake water happens. When the churning of the lake water happens, you see that sediment gets, there is upwelling of sediment with that release of phosphorus. When the phosphorus is released in the water, naturally the froth is formed. It is like when you put a soap powder in the water and stir it, you have the froth at home in the bucket. Similar thing happens in the lake. Now when there is a large quantum of water start flowing, probably this will get washed away. And also there is a dilution. Like for a bucket of water, if you put 3 more buckets of water, the froth level comes down. The same thing would happen in the monsoon. But that's not the solution. We need to act today. We need to make sure that water is not contaminated. Because of this contamination of the lake, surrounding borewells have higher levels of nutrient and heavy metal. This is really worrying. That means we are giving the polluted water to the people who are residing in the vicinity, the Vartur village, Bellandur villages and all, which is really worrying.
So, and one of the big constraints why the cleanup process of the lakes is not begun is the cost that is involved. And you've actually now done the bathymetric survey, and you say that at the bottom of these lakes, there is more than enough wealth to actually go ahead and clean up these lakes. Will the government now act?
Well, we did the quantification to say that what is the kind of resource available there. When I consider the slush as well as the sediment which is accumulated there, it is about 7 million cubic meter in Bellandur and 3 million cubic meter in the Vartur lake, which amounts to about 15,000 crore rupees. Now the kind of nutrient that is there.
That is to say, let's actually stress on that point, the wealth. I mean, what a lot of people say, the slush and the sediments at the bottom of the Vartur and Bellandur lake, that is worth 15,000 crore rupees, more than the cost that is being pegged for actually the cleanup of these lakes. Why is it that the government will not extract this and thereby use those funds to clean up these lakes?
Well, I would give the benefit of doubt to the government. Probably they were not aware. Now with this result, I am sure the government should take this move and move forward, and they should not be at the clutches of the contractors and the other mafias in the system.
So one hopes that the government is actually listening. So 15,000 crore rupees is the amount of wealth that sits in the form of the slush and sediments at the bottom of Bellandur and Vartur lakes. It is enough to be hoped that with the financial angle actually going out of the window, because the government can actually take this slush and sediment and perhaps then rejuvenate the lake. One hopes that the government will at least act now. With camera person Vinod, this is Mohammed Saleh for News 9.